I woke up thinking of a song that I could write, a song to pull the dream up from my night. All day I felt so light, and wild color played along the road. In the fields and fences as we drove along, I was thinking of my song and what I'd place inside if I could bury light in something I could write. Would it explain to you this white moon hanging high above the motel room, the last gasp of longing that I'll stretch my hand towards, as though to steal from the moment some souvenir of words. I woke up thinking of a song that I could write.
It's good. Piano and the speakers? It's on? Okay, cool. So quiet. Thank you so much. I am really honored to be here and to be a part of this gathering. And I have not, I realized a week or two ago that it's the first time I've ever played these songs in front of a crowd of climate people. So my story, there's been so much talking today, so I was inspired to talk as well. It's like being, you're like, okay, you know, I know, we've all been through it. So in 2018, I went through what many of you in this room have been through, which is I kind of went down the climate rabbit hole, and I kind of hit this wall and went through it, and then suddenly I just became obsessed with this reality, and I went through this huge range of emotions. And it's not like I didn't know before, but I think that a lot of our world is prefaced on knowing and not knowing at the same time. And I think when you're my age, I realized that my whole life, I'm in my late 30s, my whole life had been lived basically in the span of knowing about the climate crisis. I was born in the 80s, so I'm basically the same age as this crisis. And this is the water that I've been swimming in my whole life. And yet I had not really seen it. It was sort of invisible to me. And then something happened, and I became obsessed, and I started reading, and I became very annoying on social media, and I became very strange, and my friends didn't understand what was wrong with me. And it changes you. You can't actually, you can know, but if you really look, you can't go through that experience and stay the same. And, you know, there was this winter of 2018, 2019, I was trying to figure out, okay, like, I need to become an activist, I need to join an organization, I need to go to protests. So I was trying to figure out how to exist in that world, and I was reading all the articles and trying to educate myself. And then as I would do that, I sometimes would go up to my piano and just write a song. And I found that the songs I was writing, I was like, well, I can't like use these climate feeling songs. I should maybe make sure I make them kind of universal and kind of relational. But a lot of them were really just about the very visceral emotions I was experiencing when I talked to a politician, or when I went on Twitter, or when I just read something that shattered me. And I ended up with this body of work that I tried to pass off as not really, you know, as sort of like relational, but the secret sort of emotion of it was sort of going in real time through those climate emotions. And so I wanted to give that context because I feel like everyone here can relate.
The year was unrelenting. We argued all the time. I obliterate your positions, and you know just how to obliterate mine. Online, we talk, say we talk, mute and block. I should turn this thing off. I know I should give it up. So I took a walk down the road, and at the bottom of the hill, a little river overflowed, and a swamp in the eddy had filled the ditch with bulrushes and reeds. Black water puckered with bodies, water striders, mosquitoes pierce my jeans. I try to really see the beauty, the blue and green, and light green, and yellow green, and red green, and gray green, and reddish green, muddy green, but all I can see today is black, like the new moon sky, like when you close your eyes, those stars don't guide you anywhere, but there is no other there, no any other anywhere but here. Now it falls the first tear. And when they hold the election, this argument may end, but everything depends on it still. If we don't argue, then they will. I can't even watch the swallows fly when I know I can't count even on this tangle of grasses. The chance is this, everything balanced on a kiss, penetration of peel and pith. Her body puckers the surface to take a breath.
So this next song, I kind of consider myself a folk songwriter. That's what I've always been, even though I have moved into big band stuff. But I try to write songs about small moments that I think hold some significance, or sometimes I don't know what the significance is until I've written the song. And in this case, I had an encounter with a bird in Australia and was told that it was a magpie, and that name kind of rang strange to me. It didn't seem to describe the bird that I had encountered. And years later, actually, after I wrote the song, I learned that because of colonialism, often when colonists moved to another continent and they encountered a creature that they didn't know what it was, they would just give it a name based on some bird back home in England. And there's actually 3 magpies species in the world that are completely unrelated, and they're all called magpie, which isn't a big deal, right? But, somehow that just got me thinking of, like, what it is to go through the world wearing the wrong name and being told what you are, and what you are is something else that's familiar, and that's not what you are.
I was woken up in the early morning after my flight by a sound I could not grasp but did not recognize, running like water to toned and tamed, like a briar holding many sounds all at once. It was a magpie, you told me, as you handed me a coffee, the black and white bird you see in city parks. And you pointed out the window, looking straight in at me, a black and white bird sitting on the fence. I thought about the man who called it a magpie, confronted by the great expanse of his ignorance. He wanted to name it, to detain it forever in that small phrase. It seemed like a shame to give it that name. But then again, I don't understand anything the way I'm supposed to. I drag every river for meaning, scrape my hand on every ceiling. I never know what to say or not say, what to honor or betray in any given day. But I never got used to the sound of the magpie. It's in my skin on edge. It called like a child, like a dog, like the wind caught in a fence. When we talked, it interrupted, and I would never know what it said. That's it.
So this next song is I wrote after a particularly difficult day trying to deal with all the climate deniers that were suddenly very upset with me on the internet, which is a common folk song trope. But I really found those encounters quite interesting, and it resonated with me in terms of also a relationship I was in. And, when I write a song, it's not like conscious, it's not known. I don't really know what I'm doing. It's like childlike, and it's never as eloquent as I want it to be. But this was sort of a merger of all of these relational experiences I was having.
Separated by all the work we had to do, separated by all the arguments you lose, separated by all the things you thought you knew, separated by all the dreams you drift into. Separated by the results you can't disprove, separated by all the dreams you drift into, separated by all the things you thought you knew, separated by all the dreams you drift into. You try again, your arguments out on me. I try and tell you again, but if you wanted to understand me, you could. If you wanted to hold my hand, you would, but you don't want to. You've committed to this wall we sleep against. If you can bury the silence of the bruise, if you can look at the wildness of the wound, if you won't look at the wind onto the sea, if you can't carry your pain, you will lay it on me to carry for you out in the open fields. I bore it, but I feel in my stupid desire to heal every rift, every chord. I feel as though I wield some power here. I lay my hands over all your fear. Discussion running river here that spills out over these plains, soaking in all of this rain. If you can look at the wildness of the wound, if you can look at the silence of the bruise, separated by the relief you want to feel, separated by the belief this cut can heal.
But you know, this is where we are. So.
You lay in bed, the sun streams in the blinds, sweat soaked through your shirt. You lay a hand across your eyes, every other part of you hurt. From inside the confines of the story that everything would be alright. It was only so wide you could open your eyes. You could only let in so much light, but you knew the story had never been true. Loss is loss is loss is loss is loss is loss. What was it last night you said? At some point you'd have to live as if the truth was true. When it gets too hard to not feel what you do, not know what you knew, you've lost. It's loss is 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 loss. It was getting late. You were afraid of yourself, afraid that you might call her, that you could not help yourself. And what could I say? Lived in you all day. I watched her in your eyes and pass across your face like the wind in the water. I tried to tell you that is the way that you want her. I tried to tell you endless rain. You thought of as your heart with light on your hands. From the river inside, you tried to deny it. You never felt the tide of the moon pulling closer. I tried to tell you that is the way that you want her. I tried to tell you that the wind and the water will not have you not to feel, to tell yourself it wasn't real, but only fools believe. This is what the songs are for. This is the dirt beneath the floor. I cannot sell you on your own need, but some days there might be nothing you encounter to stand behind the fragility that anything matters. I'll feel as useless as a tree in a city park, standing as a symbol of what we have blown apart. You know you break what you treasure. I try to tell you, but I am not sure you remember, so I try to. I know it cannot be measured. I try to tell you when I kill you, to believe in your pleasure. I try and tell you. Thanks. I usually play this song on keys, but I'm just going to play it on guitar. I feel like it's been such a pleasure to be here, and this song is just once again about a very small moment involving a bird, of course. And you know, when I'm on stage in these big clubs, I'm like, this song's about a bird, and I leave it at that. But you know, what I experienced from going through the climate grief process, so many things, and one of them was just the ability to be sensitive again to the world around me, because I realized that trying to live in the cognitive dissonance of trying to just exist in the world and act like this isn't happening, which is what the last two songs were kind of about, I think numbs you. And you know, I grew up in the woods, and one of my deepest first relationships was honestly with trees and with nature. And I think trying to not face climate reality cuts you off from the ability to be sensitive to the creatures around you. And I think part of my grief process was having these moments, like I describe in the song, where suddenly you feel that non-human energy, and you sort of you're able to feel that sensitivity for once. Waiting outside the club in a parking lot, I watch some bird fly up and land on the rooftop, and up again into the sky, in and out of sight, flying down again to land on the pavement. Felt intimate to watch it, its small chest rising and falling as it sang the same song over and over and over and over again, over the traffic and the noise. Is it alright if I don't want to sing tonight? I know you were tired of seeing tears in my eyes, but are there not good reasons to cry? Is it alright if I don't wanna sing tonight? I know you're tired of seeing tears in my eyes, but everywhere we go there is an outside for all of these ceilings. Hangs the sky and it kills me when it just kills me when it just kills me when I see some bird fly. It just kills me and I don't know why.
This is a newer song that I just thought of when Bio was speaking today. The conversation was amazing. My mind was blown. I was so happy. Anyways, this song is not anywhere near the profundity of anything he was saying, but I play it anyways.
At the end of the world, you said your body fooled you, your body moved you out. Now you can't go home again. You were crying, you're so confused why your body fooled you, your body moved you out of that thing that you were in a cold sweat, blood on your arms. You want somebody, you caused the harm, you made it so you had to confess, 'cause you can't hide that bad a mess. You were high, numb, spacing out, you fucked around and you failed the test. You made it so you had to undress the body that's beneath all of this. And it's the end of the world. Your eyes, they fooled you, your eyes, they moved you now. You're seeing way too far. Scared, lost, under duress. You're begging someone for forgiveness. You don't know what you had to address. Your body fooled you, your body moved you, yes. Now what you had to do was figure out why it had to fool you. Were you lost? How were you blind? Were you trying too hard to be kind? Was it truth? Was it lies? Was it some kind of trap that you devised to keep yourself from getting out? Ooh, but it hurt so much. You thought you knew what it was you loved. Then again, look at this mess. Your body fooled you, your body moved you, yes.
This song is about living in an old house in Toronto.
I grew pale white lilacs and wild columbine. All of it was mine. In old recycling bins I grew watermelon vine, and all of it was mine. And everything I saw seemed to get so small, like from a speeding car, old familiar barns. I made hard wheat bread and rhubarb berry fool, and I gave it all to you. I crumpled all my clothes and to the floor I threw them, and I turned right back to you. My run suffer fence, my saying hydro line, all of it was mine. All of it was mine. all the while I shrunk, I pulled my clothes around like my body I could drown. I dug up shattered glass and forgotten plastic trucks and coiled faded twine, and all of it was mine. My buckling plaster walls, cracks, snaking wine, and all of it was mine. And everything I know I seemed to see right through, like cheap cotton skirts, like the Madawaska view. All these things I knew. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Muddy white petunias, lobelia trails, blue-eyed, and all of it was mine. Iris shot up high, where lilies tumbled shy, and all of it was mine. I dug up all my carrots, their wild orange hue, and I gave them all to you. And all the words with which I didn't know what to do, I said them all to you.
It's definitely in the big speakers? Okay, cool. It's so hard to connect to a fake piano. I'm doing my best. All right, so this song I wrote, what's that? Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking to me. It's a small room. This song I wrote, I think people see it as like a pandemic song, and it found itself to be very relevant. But I actually wrote it about climate before the pandemic happened, and once again, it's just sort of weaving together a personal situation and what I saw as a greater societal situation of sort of living in bounty that you know is fragile and probably threatened.
It's only the end of an endless time. I wake up in my home bed, the curtain open wide to let in what light the sky has to offer today. It's only the end of an endless time. They don't put that in the paper, you won't hear it on the news. But we knew, and it's just like a sunset about to begin. Maybe at first you can't believe your eyes, the sky all lit in color and light. It's just the same as right before you left. We would stay up, lay your head on my chest. We were still in love, and the sun went on making flowers from the mud. We could walk out on the streets and buy roses from Spain. Lemons and persimmons in December rain. All of our lives that have been that way. But it's only the end of an endless time. They don't put that in the paper, you won't hear it on the news. You have to use your eyes, and it's so painful how everybody lies. Nobody tells you straight. They try so hard not to meet your gaze. We can still walk out on the street and buy champagne grapes, strawberries and lilies in November rain. It never occurred to us to have to pay. But it's only the end of an endless time. We laughed so much we wore lines around our eyes. You can see it in that picture of us from long ago, how we changed. And it happened so slowly, we couldn't even say. I gotta find that picture, I want to look again. I used to think that I could see everything that met my eyes. We're going to play another new song. Gotten used to feeling like I'm crazy, or just lazy. Why can't I get off this floor, think straight anymore? Out on the street, when walking in a punishing heat, nobody meets my eyes except witty signs and luxury design. Every neon sign, every flashing light tries to fool you, get you on their side. Everybody swears they need you, don't live to make the buy. You feel flattered to be wanted and you don't know why. It reminds me of that look in your eyes. Never enough in a world without trust, having to rely upon the honesty of lust. Oh, like it's almost the same as love. Every neon sign, every flashing light tried to fool me. There I was, just stretching out my mind to take in every wounded story. Nothing needs it so badly as a lie, so lonely, drifting unmoored from real life, begging somebody to keep it alive. Never enough in a world without trust, having to rely upon the honesty of lust. Oh, you had to make yourself wanted to get what you wanted. Now you got me this broken prize, clinging to you but blank in the eyes. One is a feeling you can't take alive. Till I fell out of desire, like I slipped not, I fell out of desire, and nothing caught. I fell out of the fire, wasn't even hot. I could feel nothing. My heart was honest, you tried to direct it,
this little progression kicking around in my life, and I remember I was upstairs in my little music room, and I read this article about the Exxon New story, which I had never encountered before. And it just floored me. And it was sort of what began my climate journey, because I just couldn't conceive of that actual people, you know, human beings just like me, would do something so insanely wrong as to hide evidence of what was happening and try to convince all of us that there was no evidence and that we couldn't be sure. And I find it, I've tried to talk about it on stage and out in the world, because I just think it's so wild that we're living our whole lives in this backdrop. Once again, this is the span of my life, is the span of this lie and of this theft. And yet, you know, nobody knows about this, or if they do, it's sort of just in the background. I think we have this cynicism of like, oh, of course they did that. But I'm like, but how? You know, how could you do that? And I realized it broke a sort of naivete that I didn't realize I had, where I was like, there's something I don't understand about human nature and about reality. And, you know, once again, songs aren't rational for me. You know, if I was going to write an essay about this, it would be far more eloquent and much longer. But I read this and it kind of hit me, and then I wrote this song.
I never believed in the robber. I never saw nobody climb over my fence. No black bag, no gloved hand. I never believed in the robber. I figured everything he took was gone. To be done. I never believed in the robber. Oh, I never believed in the robber. You never believed in the robber. You thought a robber must hate you, take from you. The robber don't hate you. You never believed in the robber, but the robber never believed in you. You were two halves of the same piece, divided into two. The robber don't hate you. The robber don't permission by words, permission of thanks, permission by loves, permission and thanks. White tablecloth dinners, convention centers, it was all done real carefully. Make real imagination, make unreal that which can't be taken. Turn your gaze from the window's light, turn your attention to this sharp knife. I never believed in the robber. When I was young, I learned how to make love to the robber, to dance with the other, to wring from his hand the touch of a lover. I never believed in the robber. Nobody told me nothing was mine, if nothing was mine. Taking my soul, there was looting at dawn, looting at dusk. Hold open the gates for the one first. saw was the dust kicked up. My God, I thought, my God, what a sunset. Blood red floods the Atlantic. With the wine in my hand, laid back in the grass of some stranger's field, where sheer waters reeled overhead. Thinking I should get all this dying off my mind. I should really know better than to read the headlines. Does it matter if I see? Oh, really? Can I not just cover my eyes? In the air flight, soft wind on my skin. Pink clouds massing on the cliffs, thinking, how can I touch this? How can I touch this softest petal, softest stem, softest leaf, pendant, green in my palm. Thinking I should get all these dying off my mind. I should really know better than to read the headlines. Does it matter if I see? Oh, really? Can I not just cover my eyes? Oh, tell me, why can't I just cover my eyes? Thank you. How is it that I should look at the stars? Drove out in the desert in a rental car, and I turned the headlights off and lie and wait for my eyes to adjust for some peaceful state. When I was a child, my mother'd send me outside. When the Perseids fell, to see the light, cast out in some ancient storm, with a woolen blanket to keep me warm. I was overwhelmed by the beauty of the sky. How could I not be? But how should I look the stars tonight, and a million suns, none of them mine. Nowhere up there is a place like this. Not one waterfall, no river mist. I felt dizzy, my chest clenched, cold and tight. It'll be 2020 tomorrow night. From Salt and City, I hear fireworks go off, as though they're celebrating all another year has cost. Or is it carelessness? Send another star into the sky, only to watch it die. Fall across the black in a shining orc. I swear to God this world might break my heart.
I really didn't think this through in terms of too many really sad songs in a row. I don't have much else in the agenda. That's all I got. All right, this one I never play. I've played it live once, and it was on my record, but I just couldn't do it. And so I was like, well, I have to play it here for you guys. And this is a song, you know, once again, it's flood, it's small, but a couple years ago in Canada, we had a big movement. The Wet'suwet'en people were trying to stop a pipeline from crossing their ancestral lands out in British Columbia. And this was devastating because our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, had been elected on a climate platform and also a platform of reconciliation with the First Nations. And yet they sent in the cops. The people had barricaded their land. They weren't allowing the workmen to come in. It was a beautiful movement. It was coast to coast. People were blockading all across the country. And in Wet'suwet'en, they sent in a helicopter and dogs and men with machine guns. And I was watching on Twitter. This was when Twitter was useful. Before that guy, when it was really a community building space, which is probably why he bought it. I was watching on Twitter, and I was horrified to see these pictures that people on the front lines were posting. It was, you know, the snow, it was the dead of winter, and it was these cops approaching in riot gear to this peaceful encampment of children and elders and lovely people trying to stop this pipeline. And I saw, you know, the helicopter was coming down and the dogs, and then everything cut out, and all the people that were posting just stopped. And there was this silence that lasted for about 2 hours. They may have used a jammer, we don't know. And it was really scary because I was just like, is there something terrible happening here? And I didn't know what was going on. And I was sitting by my piano, and I just happened to write this song at that moment. And it's not about that, but it's this moment where, you know, there's these leaders that have been elected saying that they're all for reconciliation, and then what does it take to just break that trust, to just break that promise and send in the dogs, literally, to stop people who are trying to save us all. And yeah, once again, the song is not nearly as good as what it should be, but I'll play it.
draw the curtains. This is the end of love. Ready all your arguments. This is the end of trust. Send out all the witnesses. Let nobody watch. Let there be no more words spilled at the ending of what was a time we had. Bring me all the evidence, the baskets of wild roses, the crumpled petals and misshapen heads of reeds and rushes. Parties of the common birds, robins, crows, and thrushes. Everything that I've loved and all the light touches, while we still have time. Pass over me, holding stupidly everything I wanted you to see. In the throes of this divorce, in this court proceedings, for some reason my mind was filled with all my softest feelings, all the hidden, wounded, gentle places of my body. I wanted to bare my skin to the grass in generosity, while we still have time. Everybody's talking, and I know it's important, and I should pay attention, and I know it's important, and I dim the lights and draw the curtains. This is the end of love. Ready all your arguments. This is the end of trust. Send out all the witnesses. Let nobody watch. Let there be no more words spilled at the ending of what? I don't have the heart to conceal my love, and I know it is the best of me. If I should offend you, I will show myself out. You can bury me in doubt if you need to. I can walk out in the street. No one need look at me. Is with my eyes I see. I guess that I am soft, but I am also angry. turn to a sky renewing. My dumb touch is always reaching for green, for soft, for yielding. In the pale dim light, I am always reeling through long midnights of feeling of all the many things you may ask me. Don't ask me for indifference, don't come to me for distance. No, I don't have the heart to conceal my love. If it is too hard to look at me, I can show myself out, walk out in the city. You can bury me in doubt if you feel it necessary. I don't know quite where to begin. I know it don't look like I'm doing anything. A mess of scraps, colors clash, I know. I'm sewing together a day from these hours and the way you touched my hand just now, the things you say and do. It don't look like much from here. There's no straight lines, nothing that clear. Aimless days, bad moods, the changes I can't get used to. I'm sewing together a year from boredom, from love, from fear and magnolia petals on the ground, pink on brown on the street. Some people don't wanna see the scenes. They want it all done by machine, straight and plain, no traces of making. But no 2 days are ever the same. Sometimes I get hit by a shattering pain. I won't try to forget, I'm going to include it in this undulating thing. Whatever it is I'm making, from pride and shame, beauty and guilt, sewing together a quilt. Too late for perfection to clean up the mess, too late to take it all back, I guess. All I can do is sew in this too, this undulating thing. Whatever it is I'm making with you alive, I'll sew in that too tonight. traveler as I went walking down my street. Every building's so familiar, oh, but it's like I never have seen them. There's the same rows of houses, row on row, but I felt just like a stranger. I set my key in the door and I lingered, standing there on the porch, little flecks on the brick where the paint did not stick. I never could paint in the lines, but I felt just like a tourist, seen it all for the first time, like a guest, unsure of what I might find. I set down my boots where he would hang up his suits, and I brushed the snow from my coat to the skin I was soaked. But I felt just like a traveler, my eyes open wide, like a stranger, uncertain and shy. Everybody's so well-meaning, everybody's been so kind. Called to see if I'd been eating, wondered when to come by. You should have called somebody. You should have called somebody before it ever came to this. And I wish